All right, guys, welcome to episode 2 of Soul Brothers, hosted by yours truly, Flex Luther and Morgan Snickeroon. What's up, man? How you doing? How you living? And what's new?
I'm doing good, man. How are you doing? I'm living the dream. I know I just asked you how you were doing, but uh, yeah, I mean it's the holiday season. Everything's great. Just happy to be alive and happy to have made it this far through 2023, and I'm looking forward to 2024. How are you living?
Absolutely, man. Like I always say, man, I'm living, I'm breathing, and that's all that really counts, man. As long as I'm here and I'm breathing, I can provide for me and my family. I'm good. I'm
Yeah,
good.
for sure.
Uh,
I should say, I would be remiss to not mention I did just get engaged within the last week. Um,
Congratulations,
so thank you.
congratulations.
Just
Welcome to
got
Death
engaged.
Row.
Yeah. Oh man. Hey, she is within earshot, brother. Uh, she is within earshot. Uh, so we're looking at dates in November, next November. Um, that was her decision, and I feel like I don't have much, I don't have a, I've got a say in it, but that's what she wants. That's what we'll do.
There's something special
Um,
about November, or just time, just the time of month.
that's our anniversary month.
Dope,
When we
dope.
first started dating, we were supposed to get engaged by November, but
Mhm.
life kind of got in the way and we wanted to find a time to make it special. So we didn't want to like rush it or anything. So
Mhm.
she was patient and we were able to make it happen December 17th, right? 16th. So she doesn't know either, so we're good. I was worried you were gonna see a murder on the that would have been crazy.
Hey,
So
man.
yeah, man. Are you married?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
Just like you said, life has been life, and definitely something I want to do in the near future. Really just getting settled in, or buying my home, getting situated, financial stability, all
Yeah.
that good stuff.
Yeah.
But honestly, there's never no right time. It's kind of just like you got to do it. you
Yeah,
know,
for
I
sure.
don't.
It didn't it we lived together for 4 years before we actually got engaged.
Mhm.
We so we moved together like right before COVID started,
Yeah.
and we spent all that time together. Um, and then, like you said, life kind of happens and it goes fast. And I was in college, um, and I was focusing on that, and then getting a job outside of college. And then, even though you're right, there is no right time. This did feel like the best time to make it happen. I don't know if that's in retrospect or if that's just like we had been together for so long and we had been talking about it for so long. But it felt I feel prepared. I feel like we both feel prepared. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's the best part about it. I
Mhm.
think the best time is actually better than the right time because I feel like
Yeah,
that's when you two are comfortable. So like the best time is that right time, I guess you could
right.
say.
I'll tell you what though, I'll never pressure anybody to get engaged. Like, I'm not gonna be the type to say, what you waiting on, what you waiting on, because I used to hate that. I used to hate that.
my
So
current situation.
yeah. Hey, you
my
know
current
what? Look,
situation.
and you take as much time as you need to, man. You've got my support. I even have my friends, man. My friends are like, bro, what are you waiting on? Because they're all married. And
yeah.
I feel like part of it was like envy, you know what I mean? Um,
Yep.
but they also seem to really enjoy their lives with their families and stuff like that. So, yeah,
I mean, I could piggyback on that, but then that would just turn into a whole nother podcast.
I know.
So, so
we're
we just
four
go.
minutes in. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, let's just hop into I wanted to touch bases on your recent interview that you did a couple weeks ago. I think
yeah.
on what was it, like 2 weeks, 3 weeks ago?
I think it posted uh last Friday. So we're recording on a Saturday. So
Mhm.
not yesterday, but the week before yesterday.
All right. But yeah, so shout out to Haas over there at My First Kicks. Um I actually want to touch bases on why our collections are so massive. Like, what is the void that we're actually trying to fill? Is there a void
Yeah.
that you're trying to fill, or is it just you doing something that you love and collecting?
So for context for the listeners, in the interview with Haas and Haas and I and Flex were all friends, and um, we pretty much communicate almost every day, if not every day,
Yeah.
in a group chat. But he was telling me that I had way too many sneakers and that I needed to get rid of some. And my response was essentially, I don't care. I'm going to keep doing what I want. Like we discussed on our last episode, I have 600 pairs of sneakers, and you said you just hit 300, right?
Yeah.
So I mean that is an insane amount of sneakers. I mean, it is an insane amount of sneakers, and I will tell you that I collect sneakers at this point in my life for the love of it. Um, but Haas's comments were that there was some trauma there, that the sneakers were filling a hole, in my life. And I said, no, I just like collecting sneakers. Like this is, it's my vice. It is an addiction. I don't drink and I don't smoke, anything. And, but I like collecting sneakers. So, I think that ultimately it's a harmless thing. It's a harmless, vice, but it is a vice. How about you? Why do you have so many?
Um, I like the way you worded it. I don't want to say that it's filling a void because like I don't feel like anything is missing. Um, Shout out to my mom. She provided everything that I needed, and she tried to give the extra and stuff, but just certain situations to where I just can't get that plus, And like I said, I mean, it didn't take anything away from my childhood. I was still able to dress nice, look nice, stuff like that. But I just wasn't able to get 3 and 4 pairs. So as I got older, I started working for it, and I always was into shoes. So like, I still have that excitement for shoes. So whenever I get a new pair, even if I don't put them on immediately, I'm still excited about looking at the design, looking up the backstory, stuff like that. So me continuing to collect is because I genuinely enjoy it. Now, in the beginning, it was kind of like a statement of my success. Like, okay, I have enough money to buy what I want now, and when you see this backdrop of sneakers in my background, that's my success. But now it's just me collecting because I actually enjoy it.
Yeah, 100%, man. And one of the things I said to Haas in the interview was, um, that my sneaker collection in its entirety, it kind of, so we've always talked about we love the storytelling of sneakers,
Hmm.
and the collection as a whole, with all the individual shoes that are in there, from Jordans to Nikes to Asics to New Balance Sauconys, it tells a story of, um, kind of my adult life, right? Starting in the military, being out on my own, getting out of the military, going through college. Um, like, not only does every sneaker have its own inherent storytelling behind it, but
Yeah.
there's also a storytelling. There's a story with me on why did I like this shoe? What's a memory? So all of it. I remember wearing a certain sneakers when it was time to take a test in college, right? Like I would put on. It was back in like 2017. I'd put on a
Yeah.
pair of Yeezys to go and take a test because it was like look good, play good, feel good, right? So just having a collection, and one of the reasons we're really talking about this is that he just had Jacques Slade on his podcast, which is
Hmm.
monumental, and he was trying to tell on me to Jacques Slade, like, yeah, I told Morgan Sneaker Room that he had too many sneakers, and Jacques was like, okay, I don't know who that is, and kind of, I'm not gonna
Yeah.
say
Kept
he
going.
dismissed him, but I don't think he got the answer he wanted, which is cool by me. But yeah,
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I don't. I feel like the perception of like having a mass collection or just a person that buys a ton of sneakers more than like 10 pairs is just so negative. And I
Mhm.
don't really understand why. Like you say, like your vice, this is your vice. You don't smoke or you don't drink. Neither do I. I've been drug free for the past 10 years and then I'm coming up on almost 8 years of like not drinking. So for me, that's big. And like I feel like I've never been to a point where I can't provide for my family or like I'm going to buy the sneakers instead of paying my mortgage.
Mhm.
Now, but I think it's different when you get into other vices, not just, drug use and, alcohol, like other things. I feel like there's gambling and other things like that where people are like getting to the point that they're not being able to provide for their family. They're not making, those monthly payments or payments on time. And I feel like, to have the sneaker collection that we had, we have to be financially okay and able, and mature about it.
Mhm.
So I just feel like the perception of a mass collection is just weird. I think if I seen a person with a mass collection, I'll kind of be like, you know what, this guy's gotta be financially, able. I like
Yeah.
that worded. I like
Yeah.
financially able.
Yeah, because I can say that I haven't, there have been times in my life where I haven't been the most responsible. Um,
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
that's everybody. That's everybody
Yeah.
with everything.
That's living and learning.
Right. You live, you learn from it. The you know, I wasn't starving. I was,
Yeah, no.
but there's always a there's always a well, shoot, it's gonna be tight. It's gonna be tight for a little bit because I made this
Yeah, yeah.
decision. It's gonna be, um, you know, maybe you buy a pair of sneakers and an emergency happens, and it's like it's gonna be rough.
Yeah.
But I always know that um, if worse comes to worse, I've got money that I can liquidate. I can liquidate the collection and be okay. That
Yeah.
is, I'd probably be more than okay. I would be. I don't want to say it too loud because my girlfriend's listening. But you
Absolutely.
know, we would be in
That's
a different. Yeah, we would be in a
that
different situation.
that's the one of the things like that's like an omen to me.
Uh
Like
huh.
the thought of selling my collection for I feel like if I get to the point where I have to sell my collection for a financial crisis, I feel
Hmm.
like I failed.
Yeah.
Because I
Yeah.
mean that's my last result. Like that's I'm out of you
Out of
know
options.
yeah like this.
Yeah.
So that's why it's like an omen to me. Like it's like I don't even want to think about it because I'm
Yeah.
on my last leg at that point where if I'm thinking about selling pairs and stuff. So like it's not that I wouldn't do it. I'll do what I got to do, but it's just a simple fact that like that's just that no, like that's that all is fail, and I have no more resources, everything's exhausted. Then we can go into selling pairs. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's something that it would be hard for me to get over because it would feel like a fail on my end.
I used to. So when I first got out of the military, I was living with my parents. Um, and it was tough, right? Like I was getting paid to go to school, but I basically had to start all over. But it was good. I had a great support system, and
Yeah.
I still do. But I used to keep like a $20 bill folded up in the back of my wallet as
Hmm.
like, brother, if you spend this, like,
Yeah, I like that.
you're in a bad spot. But at this point, man, we're saving up for a wedding. So I have to contribute to that. I'm gonna have to either get nastier with my lowballing on eBay, or the sneakers are gonna have to start slowing down a little bit. Actually, I will say it did slow down this year as far as before. If I wanted a pair of sneakers, I'll just pay whatever Goat and StockX were asking,
Yeah.
and now I've become the lowball king. I am like, if you think that you've got a steal on the internet, it's not it's not the steal
Yeah,
you
yeah, yeah.
think it is because I'm going to offer you way less. Um, so yeah, man.
I haven't bought anything since the Cherry 12s. So then I think this is the longest I've been without like buying anything.
Hmm.
I kind of just made a pact with myself because I kind of overspent. I went over
Hmm.
my budget,
Yeah.
and I was like, yeah, not again. So I just uh relearning that discipline.
Yeah. Yeah, for
So
sure. I'll tell you. So I I was okay. So now, no, now I'm about to say this, and like, I want Haas to know when he hears this that this does not mean that he's right. This doesn't mean he's right. Um, but I went through some mental health stuff, some anxiety, some depression, and whenever
Mhm.
I would feel at like the lowest,
Yep.
like I would buy a pair of sneakers, right? No matter
Hmm.
what the situation was, no matter what the
Uh-huh.
situation was. And since I've, started taking care of that, that happens. I mean, that doesn't happen anymore. Everything is calculated. Every pair of sneakers I buy is calculated now. Um, so that's been good for me.
Uh, Um, Congratulations on learning how to control that and manage that. Which I'm glad you brought that up because I feel like mental health is something that's not really spoke about, especially in
Yeah.
men.
Hmm.
And I've had my own mental health issues, struggles. I'm gonna say issues, struggles.
Yeah.
Um, Definitely around the time my daughter was born. I mean, the
Hmm.
great responsibility of bringing a child into this world, and you see the current state of the world, and just you're in fear, of what your child's gonna go through, what you're
Right.
gonna go through, and being financially able to provide for her and her or him and future children.
Hmm.
So that's when it really kind of weighed on me the worst. And I wouldn't say that you buying sneakers was like filling that void, or it's just when you're in that state, I feel like you're trying anything.
Yeah.
You're exhausting all resources. You're
Yeah.
gonna wake up and run. You're gonna try to go to the gym. You're gonna do this. You're gonna
Hmm.
do this. You're gonna take that just so you can be in a content state. Because you get to a
Yeah.
point to where it's not even a happy state. You just want to get into a point where you're content and just not depressed or anxious or anything like that. So I
Yeah.
mean, I've never really used it for like that
Hmm.
out. It's just because I was always trying other things. Because sneakers was just kind of like just that given to me. Like it was
Right.
always like I think I had bypassed it, like where I was so excited to where it just like boosts my mood to like unless it's like one of those sought after shoes. Like if I could
Yeah.
buy me like a Ben 7 type of shoe every
Hmm.
time I got upset, then that might help. But just
Yeah.
buying a general release, it was just kind of like, yeah, I'm glad I got these, but all right, now I gotta work, to put
Yeah.
that back.
Yeah. I can tell you what the doctor said was that, because I told her that I'm a very happy person. I'm happy with my life. I've always been
Hmm.
pretty happy with my life, especially my adult life.
Yeah.
And so what she was saying was that when I would buy the sneakers or when I would like, eat or something like that, it
Hmm.
was activating the wrong chemicals that I needed. So it was activating the endorphins when instead I
Hmm.
need, I think like acetylcholine, something like that. I
Yeah.
was in college a while back, but it was activating the wrong, or it was activating like a substitute. It was like a band aid for the
Yeah.
real issue. So now that I've got that sorted out, I was worried that I wasn't going to love sneakers still, but
Mm.
I love it more. And there's less guilt in like purchasing a pair. Now, with the medicine, I often forget that that I've purchased a pair. I'll have
Wait,
a
what?
I'll have a box show up and be like, oh shit. Like
Forgot about these, huh?
yeah, yeah, yeah. So uh
No.
but yeah, it's been good. Um I've been taking care of it for about, oh man, 9 months now. 9 months. I've been good. So yeah.
Oh, that's a beautiful thing. And for all our listeners and fans and audience that's out there, if you're having any struggles with mental health, definitely confide in someone, get that help that you need. I know you may feel alone at times, but there's someone out there to listen. So definitely get that help. most definitely get that help. If you're going through it right now, you listen to it, this is your sign. Please go get that help.
And we weren't even supposed to talk about this today. This was
And so that's how you know it was a sign, man, because it
yeah,
just kind
right.
of rolled, just
Yeah,
kind of just rolled
it
off.
just rolled off. Yeah, for sure.
Oh
Because
yeah, we
one thing I
definitely
want, yeah, one thing that I think that we want this podcast to be is it's a podcast that is about sneakers, not just the what's coming out and what's hype, but what is our
sneakers.
relationship with sneakers, right?
Absolutely.
So I think I went first last time. I don't know, to be honest. You edited the episode.
Uh,
Um,
yeah, that's long gone in my head.
okay,
But
okay,
I'll go first. So what I
okay.
wore today was the powder blue tens.
That's a good
We
pair.
have we haven't had a retro ten, and I ain't gonna say in a long time because we've had a couple retro tens, but we
Right.
just haven't had a likable retro ten colorway. And I'm still waiting on those steel grays. But for
Yeah.
now, the powder blues are due. But I am definitely waiting on my steel gray tens to drop here soon. I think we're hitting the 10-year mark. I think we've surpassed it. I think like what was the last steel gray release? Maybe 2012, 2013.
Steel gray. Yeah, it's one of those.
Yeah, it's got to be.
I didn't participate in that one, and that was a pair that I wanted back when I was really, really into Jordans. That was a pair I wanted. I may still have the powder blues in my collection. For the listeners who aren't familiar with our content, I have very few out of the 600 pairs of sneakers I have. Very few of them are Jordans. I used to have a ton of Jordans, and you're mostly Jordans, right?
No.
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 I mean,
No,
very,
mostly
very.
no.
I mean, I'm looking behind you and I see a lot of Jordan boxes. But what's mostly in your collection? What do you mostly wear?
Nike.
So so Flex. Let me
I
ask you
know.
a
I
question.
know.
Okay, all right.
I know. I know.
I had to get close. I had to get close to the phone. Um, so speaking of Nike, so let me go back. Those powder blue tens.
Mhm.
That's a great pair. That is a really, really great pair. I had a few tens in the collection before I got rid of slowly started getting rid of the Jordans.
Mhm.
But the powder blues were definitely a pair that I stuck with. I
Yeah.
had like double nickels. I had Bulls over
Got
Broadway.
those.
I had the New York City joints. Those are terrible.
Yeah, those
Uh,
are.
those are awful.
Yeah.
But yeah, those powder blues are really nice. So the pair that I've got, this is a pair that I've been pleading on the internet for Nike to re-release. This pair is from 2010. So we're looking at about, oh my goodness, 2010, 14 years,
Well,
almost
coming up on
14
it.
years.
Yep.
So we're coming up on 14 years. It's been over 13 years. So it is the Air Carnivore. This is what I wore today. You ever
Mm,
seen it? I know you've seen it before, but
I've seen it.
yeah. Um, really, really cool shoe. Tough to style, but I wore some army green or some army tiger camo pants, so it covered up
Mhm.
this whole part
Yeah,
right here. And
that needs to go.
yeah, you don't like this part.
Yeah, no.
So hold on. So how do you feel about the Moab?
That's
It's
the
like,
purple brown.
yep,
When you said that, that colorway came in my head.
yep, yep.
But that's not. Is that a strap though? I thought it was just like a
It's
high
not a
top shoe.
strap. It's
Yeah,
connected. Yeah, it's
yeah.
connected.
See, I'm more of a fan of that. That's just like
So
a Hirachi high. That's that you got your what's that Jordan 20 going on there?
this is closer to a Jordan 20, but this shoe came out in '93 for the first time. So this predates the Jordan 20.
Shout out School of the Ruler because I know that's how you
Stop,
found that
man.
shoe. I know that's
School
how
of
you
the
found that
Ruler
shoe.
has this. I know School of the Ruler has
I
these.
know that's how you found that shoe.
No. I had these before School of the Ruler. Before
Okay.
I saw School of the Ruler.
Okay.
We will talk about shoes whenever I have a shoe that I have. Matter of fact, that's foreshadowing for later on today, for later on in
Okay.
the episode.
Okay. All right.
I will blame School of the Ruler for the showcase shoe. But yeah, this is just a shoe that I wanted for a while. And I was able to find these for a really nice price last spring. So uh, yeah, real cool shoe.
I wish I had the concentration and the focus for eBay, like a eBay the way you do your eBay bids and stuff. Like I
Yeah.
just don't, when I open up eBay and I see it, it's just like my brain goes crazy and I just cannot focus and
Hmm.
concentrate on like putting the filters in and slowly going through it. Like Go is just such a more comfortable app for me to use.
Yeah.
So I do my like low balling and searching on Go.
Hmm.
Um yeah, I stay far away from eBay. Not saying there's anything wrong with it. It's just my brain just cannot process it. Too many SpongeBob's running around in there.
Fine dining and breathing, man. You just need to
Yeah,
think about fine dining and breathing. No, on eBay, I like it because I feel like I can get a little bit more personal with the seller, right?
true.
Negatively and positively, right? Um, I like that, if it's a shoe like a carnivore, right? If they're selling it for 40 bucks, it doesn't need to go through authentication. Like they're not making fake carnivores. They're not making fake, you
Yeah.
know, some of those shoes. So if I can get it for a steal and I can clean it up a little bit, if it comes and smell like smoke, I'm a little bit disappointed because that's happened before. But on Goat, it's just I feel like I'm buying from a listing and not like an actual person, right?
Oh yeah, Go is definitely like a hit or miss. Like
Hmm.
it's then like if you get something that you wasn't expecting, it's kind of hard to retrack and go back because like there's
Right.
no person, there's no interaction.
Right.
It's just kind of like, hey, you agree that these are used or these have a defect,
Hmm.
and that rule I think is just gives a lot more room for error because
Yeah.
like you're agreeing to defects. So like if there's a defect that wasn't shown or you didn't notice, it's like, oh well, you agreed to it, so it's all in all
Yeah.
defected. So take
So
it or
do
leave it,
you
really.
how comfortable are you wearing used sneakers?
I have two pair out of the 300 that I have, two pair that I've bought used, and that literally I bought those pairs in the past year and a half, and those are both like older shoes. My Ben Sevens and my Do the Right Thing threes.
Gotcha. Um we won't talk about do the right thing. I think beat that.
Episode 3 would be Spike Lee. My take on Spike Lee.
um so I because I think I remember one of the first things, like as we were getting to know each other, you not really being into used sneakers, right? Was that,
Yeah,
am I
yeah.
right? Okay. I will tell you, I've got a lot of used sneakers in my collection. um so my rule is, if it is as used as it would be in my collection for as long as it's been out, then I'm cool with it, right? Like I don't want your GCs. I want a pair that's
Mhm.
been slightly used. Like these carnivores, right? These carnivores are used. They've got, I mean, it's a 14-year-old shoe. It doesn't have any, there's nothing really wrong with it, no scuffs or anything. The bottom, it's clear that they've been worn. But yeah, if it looks like the condition that I would have had it in, then yeah, I'll buy a used pair of sneakers.
See, I was definitely on the road. Like my Do the Right Thing threes, like the condition of those were just insane. And then my Ben Sevens, again, insane. Like no
Yeah,
scuffs. Like I think there was just a tad bit of like paint chip, and obviously my Do the Right Things they're not on falling apart, but the paint had cracked. But I think there was a
it's a
repaint job.
three. Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, it's a three. Those threes from that period, I think the Do the Right Things came out in '06, right?
Oh 06, oh 07, yeah.
'06, '07. So like I've got fours from 2012 that are cracking.
Yeah.
It's
You're
just
just not wearing them right, but
it's just
um
that's crazy. I mean, you say that, I just haven't worn them. They just, like
yeah,
Haas would say, they're
exactly.
just sitting there not being loved.
We're not gonna talk about the pair that he pulled out. The VO die stitch, that was crazy.
Which, hold on, which
Those
one? I missed
I think
it.
it was the white cement fours.
What was wrong with them?
They had like moss growing on
Oh them.
them.
Come on, man.
That's a
That's in
whole
his
nother level
house.
of not wearing.
Hey, that's in his apartment.
Chill out. So But what killed my vibe on my buying used pairs was those white grape fives that I got.
You
I
can't,
thought
man. Look,
bro,
yeah,
I know the pictures they looked clean. I was like, oh, 189. I seen like those little creases. I'm like, oh yeah,
yeah.
these are it. I got those things in hand, man. Yo, I didn't even want to touch those things. Like
They
I had on gloves in the video, bro. Like it was
they were
terrible.
bad when those came out though. Like if you
Oh yeah.
I mean the leather quality, it was a 2013 pair, I think,
Yep,
right?
2013.
Um and when those came out, like that was obvious a pair at that time. Like I'm in line for every sneaker release. Like I'm there.
Yeah.
I pass on those great vibes because the quality of the leather was just so poor. And every pair I saw out in the wild was like creased up. I wasn't a dude who was wearing sole shield, or not the sole shields, but the force fields,
Yeah.
force fields, whatever. So I knew that they were gonna get creased up. So yeah, man, those I remember those grapes that you showed. They were not good.
And not at all. But see, the thing about it is, like, I don't really care about the whole material thing. Like the whole bad quality Jordans. I feel like Jordan Brand has. Shout out to Jordan Brand. Hope this doesn't mess up, burn a bridge. But Jordan Brand has always kind of had like that mid of quality, And then I'm 300 plus pairs of sneakers, so like I know I'm not gonna be wearing my great fives every other day. Like I know it's not happening. So like I don't really worry about like something creasing easily. Like I know the Gratitude 11s they're having a big issue on the materials with those. Like a lot of people are like first two wears they're already creasing and like folding and stuff like that. And like I don't care. Like, cause I know I'm not finna be playing basketball in these. I'm not finna be running or jogging in my Gratitude 11s. I'm gonna wear them out and then put them back in a box and then probably not wear them for another 2 months, maybe 3. Who knows?
Where are the sneakers creasing at? Because
Right there, like
11s.
where 11s usually crease at. This
Okay,
is
so like in the
I
back, on the side by the
No, like right there at the toe box, right there at the toe box, like right there in the middle of like your big toe.
yeah,
There's like that little crease that
on
you
the
always
side,
get
right?
on. Yeah, right there on
Yeah,
Retro 11.
yeah.
So, you got a VO that goes viral, and then everybody chimes in and like kind of supports it, and you're like, oh yeah, you're right, and it's kind of like something we've been dealing with for like forever. And I'm just
Right,
like, I mean, whenever my 11s crease, that's usually where they crease at. So
right.
like,
We live with that.
yeah, I mean,
We live with that because they still
I'm
look good. I mean, they still look good crease like that. So
now people are saying that the 11s don't even belong to be off the court. The Jordan 11 is a basketball shoe. I'm just like, y'all missed what the Concord 2011 release?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. That
you can
was
tell they wasn't around for that.
yeah. I mean, I'm not listening to anybody. So Dre made a video about it. Dre the Shoe God. He made a video about it, and he said these COVID babies
Yeah,
can't be making rules on sneakers.
it's crazy.
So, but anyway, we were talking earlier about Jacques Slade being on Haas's pod, right?
Yeah.
And that was like for me, that was a big moment. That was a big moment for him. It was a big moment for me, even to have my name, even though he was trying to snitch on me. Um, it was a big moment having my name presented to Jacques.
Within that,
And
yeah, in that conversation.
yeah, and Jacques has even he's stitched a video of mine before. But you told me something, man, that was very shocking. Do you wanna tell me what you or tell everybody what you said?
So I feel like a lot of people were anticipating Flex's hot takes when it comes to this podcast, or those untold stories, or just those crazy opinions. And I told you guys that shout out to what Jacques Slade. Shout out to you, man. This has nothing to do with your creative abilities or who you are, but I truly just didn't know who he was. Now I understood that he was a big figure in the sneaker community. Absolutely, like it's kind of like I don't just using Jay-Z is crazy, but like you might not have heard of Jay-Z's song, but you know who Jay-Z is. Like you know that he's big in hip hop. So like I knew he's big in the sneaker community, but I had no clue that like he started Kicks on Fire. Like I was a huge fan of Kick on Fire like 2012, 2013, which was when he was there. Like I have all the shirts and the stickers and stuff, but like I just wasn't a fan of like watching the YouTubers, looking up who's writing the story. Like I read it, but I didn't go into like who's this, or follow them on Instagram. Like I wasn't following sneaker people on Instagram. Like I followed Kicks on Fire, Sneaker News, and Nice Kicks. Those are three pages I followed, and that was it when it came to sneakers. So like like I said, it has nothing to really to do with him and his creative abilities. It's just like that just wasn't the wave that I was on watching YouTubers. There's a lot of people that I didn't watch or didn't know, like 2J's, Unbreakable Kicks. Um, I didn't find these people till they were featured or mentioned on like Kicks on Fire, Sneaker News. Then I like, oh, okay, this is the perfect paired. But watching on YouTube, absolutely not.
So that's where we differ because that's what I like grew up on. So if I was buying a sneaker, I needed to see the early on foot. I watched a lot of Bullet RC because he would
Mhm.
do the on foot reviews with
Yeah, I
like
don't know who
different
that is
pants.
either.
You don't know Bullet RC? That's
Nope.
crazy. Tony D2 Wild.
Nope, but I do know I know him, but like just recently I figured out who he was. I know he does YouTube. I know he got dreads. But other than that, I can't tell you nothing. Absolutely
Um,
nothing.
so okay, so if we're talking about just sneaker figures, right? If
Hmm.
I say like DJ Clark Kent,
Yep. And the reason I know about DJ Clark Kent is because of Mayor.
so you know Mayor, okay.
Yep. Yep.
What about Greg Street?
I know of him.
Okay.
That's
In what capacity? As sneakers or as a DJ?
sneakers.
Okay. So
But wait,
I'm just,
I
so
mean like I said, bro. Like I come from an era where I just wasn't watching nobody. Like
yeah.
I wanted to be the trendsetter.
Okay.
I wasn't looking for trendsetters. Like I want to set that trend. So like I wasn't. I think I got to like watching YouTube, watching sneaker figures like later, way
Yeah.
later into collecting. Like the only person I can remember watching on YouTube was this girl. Her name was She Got Kicks Sevens, I believe.
See, I don't know who
And
that is.
yeah, I mean she was a small creator.
Yeah.
And I think that's what drew me to her because she was the underdog.
Yeah,
So her
yeah.
quality was bad. She
Yep.
had a little bit of followers, but she went up now. She got a few followers. She got her a better quality camera. And then I just kind of like stopped watching YouTube and like I have no clue what she's up to now.
Yeah.
Shout out to you.
I'll tell you, I loved Sean Go. Sean Go for he's very informational. If you go
I
back
don't know
in
who that
time,
is either.
dang. If you go back and watch my very like day one of 365 days of sneakers or like day two, it was very
Are you
like,
serious, bro? There's like 469 episodes. You think I'm finna go back to day two?
hey, I pinned day one. I pinned day one.
Okay.
So,
All right.
but it was very informational and very just like I was trying to be just straight up informational, and that wasn't working. It works for
Yeah.
Sean Go because he's got high quality. But yeah, I watched. I mean, that's what I consumed from big consumers like Mr. Fomer Simpson. Do you know Mr. Fomer Simpson?
I do. I do.
Okay, Mr. Fomer Simpson, like Eddie Wynn.
Now I do know 80 Win. I found
Okay,
him like that again. That was another one recently, but
mhm,
I found him from his style, and then
yeah,
he does clothing now too. And he had a
yeah,
collaboration with Nautica, which I liked.
yeah.
But yeah,
Um, T Blake.
blank.
No. I know a lot of people like Franelations. I'm not a big fan of Franelations. No. Um, but I'd also like the smaller creators with like just like you said, like a couple thousand followers, which
Yeah,
like that's still a lot of people. DJ Swaver was one of those. He's one who I still talk to today. Ash Bash, he follows me on TikTok where we're mutuals on TikTok, which is great. Um, and just seeing like they're bringing out the sneakers that I like. You know, when Bullet RC, those other bigger YouTubers started getting stuff seeded to them.
Yeah,
I started losing interest then because it was like, okay, they're getting sneakers that I will never see. You know, the whole off white collection and you know all this other stuff, and I'm like, this isn't really for me. I want some of this, you know, unknown
let's
stuff, this
yeah,
underrated stuff.
let's not get on how I feel about Off White.
Oh my gosh, are you gonna speak? Are you gonna speak on Virgil's now? I think we got to get a few more listeners.
That's episode 3.
That's episode. We
Episode
got to get
3.
a few more listeners before we talk about Virgil.
I think it better if we have lists because I know
You better-
it is gonna send yeah, it's gonna send shockwaves through who the people that are watching in the sneaker community. But it
That's
is what it
crazy.
is. I,
So
I
I'm gonna challenge you, man. I'm gonna challenge you to watch a Bullet RC video from 2016. Even better yet, watch like a Bacardi Bull last. He'll do like the top sneakers or the worst sneakers of the year, and he'll be drinking through the whole video, and like as the video goes on he just gets more and more disrespectful. He's usually he's very very chill and calm and like
yeah,
most of the time, but then whenever he becomes Bacardi Bull, that's like his alter ego, for like worst sneakers of the year. uh it's pretty
nice.
funny. So I'll link that to you when we get off of here.
I think it's funny because like the way you explain this, right?
Uh-huh.
It sounds amazing to you.
Yeah.
But to me, because I'm not into that stuff, it sounds sketchy. Like, bro, he has split personalities. That's what it sounds like to
That's
me.
crazy. See, that's because
So
you
it's
haven't seen it.
exactly that's I feel like those are the opinions that matter. The people that have no context of these people, they don't
Uh-huh.
have any, ties to
Yeah, that's
their
fair.
reviews because they're looking at it like a review. This is a
Yeah.
review. This is not Ticker Hatfield reviewing a shoe. This is not Jacques Slade reviewing a shoe. This is a sneaker person that collects sneakers just like me reviewing a shoe.
Tinker
And
Hatfield doesn't review shoes. He just makes
I
them.
know. I'm just saying, but it would be huge if he did. It would just be like,
That's
I
fair.
know. I know. Ticker Hatfield. I know that. I know that one. He is the designer of most of my favorite silhouettes. So
There is
I'm cool
this
with
is
that.
gonna sound awful. This is the last thing I'll
Oh,
say, and we can move on. But there is and I because I'm blanking on her name. But she
oh,
used to work for Nike, and now she reviews like tech, uh, like running shoes. Yeah,
no! Don't give me
can't
the line,
couldn't tell you who it is. I could tell you who it is right now. But I follow her on IG, and
man. Not you following. Don't know who she is. That's funny.
hey man, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
So, do we want to go ahead and get into our last segment of the show?
Uh, I mean, before we do that, I do want to touch bases on the Full Size Run finale.
Oh yeah,
So
that's right.
Full Size Run has just recently ended, and I'm going to just throw it out there. I never watched a single episode.
That's
Watch the
insane.
clips, enjoy the clips, like the clips, even comment it, even repost it, put it on my story. But I never watched a full episode. Never.
I watched them up through COVID, then kind of like dipped off. But it used to be every Thursday. Man, I was locked in, and then I stopped knowing who the guests were,
Mm-hmm.
because I'm getting older, and
Mm-hmm.
it is geared towards a younger audience. So like Rich the Kid was on there. I think that's his name. Rich, Rich the Kid. He's a rapper.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. So Rich the Kid was on there, and he had one of the worst interviews I've ever seen in my entire life. And I'm like, why are we giving this guy the time of day? But it's complex, right? So they have to tie the sneakers to whatever's pop culture. So me being the old curmudgeon, I'm like, I just want to see the sneaker people. Well, speaking of which, the last guest was. You want to say who the last guest was?
Backdoor. Oh, Marcus Jordan. Yeah.
That's crazy. But did you watch the episode?
Nope, absolutely not.
I need
I
to
love the
watch the
samples
episode.
I
So
love the samples that he showed. That was dope.
those are cool. but I watched the whole episode. Actually, I listened to it. So essentially, like you kind of alluded to, uh, Marcus Jordan has been accused of allegedly. I think we have to do that. I think we have to do the allegedly thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Allegedly
Stay away from
backdooring.
defamation.
Yep, yep. Allegedly backdooring the trophy room ones. And they grilled him on it. And I will say that Brendan Dunn, he's the one with the thick mustache. Brendan Dunn, I mean, he basically told him, like, I don't believe what you're saying. He was saying that he was innocent. Marcus Jordan
Yeah,
was
yeah,
saying
yeah.
that he was innocent.
I seen that clip.
Yeah. And Brendan Dunn was like, he didn't back down. And one of the reasons I did like Full Size Run was that they did ask, I mean, kind of hard hitting questions, but they were great interviewers as well.
Yeah, no.
And I appreciated that, even though they've got a relationship with Marcus,
Hmm.
he kept his journalistic integrity, and I thought that was really really ballsy of him to do that. But you gotta see the episode to.
Yeah, I definitely got to watch it. But I did see a clip because they were posted, like I said, posted by those pages that I
Yeah.
followed. So I definitely seen that clip, and just because you brought Brandon Dunn up, I do want to give a shout out to Sneakernomics. I seen where they mentioned him, which is like real dope to see. Like they mentioned his video, and they showed it. They were having an interview with Action Bronson,
Uh-huh.
and they mentioned him, talking about him, and I think it's pretty dope because
Did they
like
really? I didn't even realize that.
yeah, I'm mutuals with Sneakernomics, also known as Jordan Young, and just to see him grow, because like I started following him when he
Yeah.
had like under 10K, now
Yeah.
dude's like surpassing 500,000.
Yeah.
So like that was crazy to see, especially in that on that platform and in that space.
For sure. Now how do you feel about Action Bronson today? What did you think? Have you listened to him? Are you?
Do you think I was going to change because he hopped on Complex and did an interview?
Well, he's been on there before. He's actually been on there quite a bit. I just thought
And
maybe you would have learned about him more. Usually,
we do
usually
not
when
care.
people learn about,
We do not care.
I'm a big Action Bronson fan. Like I said, we'll talk about top sneakers. Maybe we won't. But
I mean there's a reason why I can't get with it. Again, you're looking at Action Bronson from like you're a fan of his. You
yes,
see it.
I love his
You're
music.
probably exactly. You're probably like he can make no mistakes. I'm looking at him as there's a lot of things that I see that I don't really agree with, and if I don't agree with it, I can't get with it. I'm not gonna
That's fair.
I'm not gonna let go of my beliefs because you're Action Bronson or you're this person. I still feel the way I feel. Now, maybe one day I see something that he posts, or maybe we'll come in contact one day and we can talk it out and have a dialogue. He's like, this is why I do this. Blah, blah. Oh, okay, I understand it. I didn't understand that in the beginning. Now
Yeah.
I see it in a newer light. So now you know what, you're pretty cool.
So if that does happen, if you end up liking Action Bronson and maybe you have a conversation with him, will that change your mind on the 990 V6 that he did, the baklava joints?
Oh no, I'm still trash.
That's crazy. That breaks my
I said it.
heart.
I said it with my chest. Those are still trash, bro. That's still those shoes are still trash.
that
I mean,
breaks my heart. That breaks my soul.
those are still trash.
I love that sneaker.
I still feel like that's a hype train. I feel like a lot of people are just going along because who's behind it. Like if that was just a regular release.
Like, have you ever eaten baklava before?
Excuse me. No, I haven't. But if that was a regular release,
It looked like baklava.
Morgan, if that was a regular release with no name attached to it, come on now.
I would have still had them.
You would get, yeah, you're right, because you love the design of the shoe. But this is, I don't even want to say that because that's gonna start a whole nother. You will get those shoes on eBay for under 100 or close to it. You know it.
Crazy.
You know it, man. Come on, bro. Come on.
This is what you got to clip for the IG, because like this is what you got to clip. You got to clip that right there.
There's some Titans that I don't want to fight right now. There's just some Titans that I just do not want to go into battle with.
It's all good. It's all good. we're hitting almost to an hour. Let's go
So let's
ahead.
guess.
Yeah, let's talk about the showcase where we each bring a random pair of shoes. We're all about sneaker diversity on this platform. So neither one of us know what sneaker that we brought. We're gonna talk about it and just give ourselves a little bit of time to show them off. So Flex, why don't you go ahead and get started, man? You want to start or you want me to start? I
Nah,
should
I got
ask
it.
for yeah.
So one of my biggest purchases I feel like out of my whole collecting career, just because what the shoe means to me, you already know my
There it
Ben
is.
Sevens.
There they
I go
are.
I'm yapping about these Ben Sevens just as much as I yap about my Taxi 12s.
Yes, sir.
And the reason why these mean so much to me, why I chose this for the showcase, is simply because when I seen these, I was at a high end mall. Guy has them on, and I knew what they were, and I knew the price of them. Now, obviously, he could have got them on release date, who knows? But I was just looking at the price point currently at that time. So, and I'm just like, you know what? I love those shoes, but that's just one of those I'm never gonna get. Like I'm never gonna get that pair.
Yep.
And then I got an opportunity to get them, and I got them, and they're in my collection. And I just feel like I'm part of an elite group right now. I'm part of 2,059 people
Yes,
that
sir.
have this pair. So, like, why not showcase it? This is a showcase shoe.
That is 100% a showcase shoe, man. I will say so. I love hating on you. It's one of my favorite pastimes. But when you got that shoe, just like what you were talking about, when you see a shoe that you never think that you'll get, and then you finally get it, it's like it is a monument to success, hard work, whatever. But when
Yeah.
you got that shoe, man, I was happy for you. I feel like we got that shoe. Um, so
I
I'm
like it.
yeah, I know I talk a lot about in different platforms and stuff like, oh, bro, stop showing the Ben Sevens. That is a
Mm.
shoe that, I'm happy you brought it out on episode 2. Um, One, so we don't have to see it again. I'm playing. But like it's just such a great, not just the shoe's incredible, but what that moment is for you, man, that's a
Yeah.
great shoe. So now I will say that what I have is less exciting than the Ben 7, but I've got something that's
Wait. Can I guess before you show it?
yeah,
Is it the volcano pair that you
it's not the
recently got?
volcanoes. It's not the
Okay.
volcanoes.
Okay.
Didn't I show
I
those
felt like
last
that.
time? Did I show those last time?
I don't think you had them by then. I think you were in the works of getting them because you had did Haas podcast and you were talking about them.
Oh, that's right. Okay, okay. The volcano. I got to keep a list of what I did. That whenever the episodes come out, I remember. But no, you actually haven't seen these shoes.
Okay.
So I haven't posted them anywhere or anything like that. But like we were talking about earlier, how
Mm-hmm.
we're not, how the kids are saying that Jordan 11s are basketball shoes and they just need to stay on
Yep.
the court. I'm not listening to anybody who's never had a brown Nike box before. So what these are, I'm gonna show you the shoe and I'm gonna have you guess what the model is. Do you know what this model is?
I know that's a pimping model. Is that the up tempo
It is.
two?
Oh my goodness! It is the Total Max Up Tempo. I had to make sure I had the name right.
I was almost
It
there. I
was.
like it.
It's an up tempo. So it is. This is actually the Reggie Miller. It's a House of Hoops limited edition release, but it's the Reggie Miller uh, PE. No, it's not a PE, but it's a Reggie Miller PE. It's yellow and blue. I'm a big Pacers fan. It's got the pinstripe on the sole. This was one of those um, eBay steals where I lowballed them to death. It's Christmas time. People have kids. So I lowballed them to death. Like I said, I'm a huge Pacers fan. So Air Total Air Total Max Up Tempo. I had to look at the box. House of
Mhm.
Hoops. Now we're talking about School to Rula. Yes, this is a model that I've seen him wear, and I'm like, I have to have those. This is definitely inspired by School to Rula, aka Uncle Schoola, um, aka Professor Schoola on on TikTok and Instagram. So yeah, this is my showcase shoe. It doesn't compare to the Ben sevens, But on a personal note, love the Pacers, love Reggie Miller. That's what I grew up on, and I love this motto as well.
Go Lakers. But
Whatever. Can you name the starting five of the Lakers?
LeBron James, LeBron James, LeBron
That's all I
James,
needed to
LeBron
hear.
James,
That's all I needed to hear.
LeBron James.
That's all I needed to hear.
Look. Shout out to Valley Boy. Shout out to Angry Joe. Love you guys both, but we know who the GOAT is. I'm clipping it.
It's Jordan.
Yeah,
It's Jordan. But you're not old enough to watch Jordan. So
Morgan, bro, you only got me like 2 years. Chill. You got me like 2 years, bro. Chill.
I'm not gonna lie. I was a Vince Carter fan. Growing up.
Bro, you know who my like favorite basketball player was growing up? It's gonna be like the most random. It's
Keith
not
Van
random.
Horn.
Who?
Keith Van Horn.
No. Kevin Garnett.
That's crazy because I did not like Kevin Garnett. I did not like Kevin Garnett. I like him now. As I'm looking back, it's the same thing with Kobe. I didn't like Kobe growing up. But
that's what turned me on to the Lakers. Kobe, the love for that's why the Lakers are my team. I mean, it just so happened that LeBron went there, but yeah.
I didn't appreciate Kobe until after he retired. And then
That's nasty. That's nasty business.
I didn't appreciate Kobe until after he retired.
I don't know which one. I don't know which clip I'm gonna clip now.
I didn't appreciate him. He gave in his last game. He gave one of my high school tennis teammates 60. Gordon Hayward gave him 60 points. That was tough to watch. But growing up, all my friends were Jordan fans in the neighborhood, and I've always been a contrarian. Everybody likes Jordans. I like New Balances.
So you were that guy.
I was that guy. I've always been that guy. Everybody liked Allen Iverson. Well, I like Tracy McGrady. Those were the players I liked. So that's what made me a Pacers fan, because everybody else was a Bulls fan or a Jordan fan, and we're talking about 7, 8-year-olds in the 90s. So with this segment, are we letting the listeners vote on who had the best sneaker?
This segment, guys, when we showcase our sneakers, we do want you guys to interact and choose what pair you think is better. This week I went with the Ben Sevens. And Morgan, what pair did you go with?
It is the Total. Oh my gosh, I have to look at it again.
Total Air Up Tempo.
Total Max Up Tempo. The Nike Total Max Up Tempo. House of Hoops
you're not a
edition.
Nike guy.
The Reggie Miller PE.
So you guys, when I post this and clip the video, you guys comment below which shoe you think was the best for the showcase this week. This is something that we'll do every episode moving forward, and we'll have you guys vote. And whoever loses, or who's the loser gets less votes, they gotta do something embarrassing that we'll come up with, or we let you guys come up with it. So make sure you interact.
For sure.
So that is our episode for this week, guys. Thanks for tuning in, and I hope that you guys continue to tune in. This is being pre-recorded, so this is gonna sound weird, but happy holidays. Hope you guys enjoy it. Be safe, and that's it. It's more than sneakers.
See ya.